Happy Tuesday and welcome into lcpioneers.com live presented by PioStream. We're with you Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook Live and streaming on demand at youtube.com/lcpios. Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Goff. I am the play-by-play voice and director of athletic communications for Lewis and Clark. We are the Pioneers out of Portland, Oregon, and a member of the NCAA Division III World, competing in the Northwest Conference with other institutions from throughout Northwest Oregon and the state of Washington. And we appreciate you joining us as we are going to get straight into our interview today because of class schedules. We want to make sure we have enough time with our guest today. Let's bring in Christian Ermann, who is a junior for Lewis and Clark men's rowing. Appreciate you taking the time, Christian, to join us on lcpioneers.com live. And we look at this calendar and we're already to the 10th day of November. It's kind of crazy how quickly, but yet also how slowly this day has arrived. How are things going for you as you look at fall 2020 semester so far?
Yeah, well, thank you. So, I mean, it's been a busy semester. I mean, it's just been kind of like a straight shot through. So, we started the semester back in late August, and we haven't really had any breaks. And so it's just been, we're making it through, but I'm looking forward to like having a week off soon.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can imagine. This has probably been hectic and trying to figure out how everything is going to go somewhat on the fly. Um, well, let's talk about the options available for classes this year. I mean, everyone kind of had to make a choice to try to figure out exactly how they were going to get the most out of their education. What route did you choose for classes this year, and how have things worked out into the second week of November?
yeah, so I'm on campus this semester, and so I've been able to take most of my classes in person. They're all offered hybrid, so other students who weren't able to make it back to campus can still attend those online. I do have a few courses that are online only, but I mean they're all still small classes, and so it's still a great experience to like be able to work in small groups with the professors and with other students. So.
Now, we talked about you're a member of the rowing program at Lewis and Clark, and with the other rowers we've had on, we've talked about paths to becoming a rower at the collegiate level. You chose to start rowing your freshman year. What was it about the opportunity to row that stood out to you?
Well, I'd always been involved in athletics, but when I was growing up, I was actually a swimmer. But as I was transitioning to college, I didn't really feel like swimming anymore, but I still wanted to do a sport, and so I kind of like looked at what Lewis and Clark offered in that, and rowing just kind of stuck out to me. I had watched some videos, and then after I started, it's just being out on the river. I don't know what it is about it. It's just one of the most like enjoyable experiences in out of my week. So, and then like once you're actually on the team, like the community that exists there, it's incredible. Like some of my closest friends are on the team. And, yeah, I don't know what my college experience would look like without it.
We're talking with Christian Ermann, a junior for Lewis and Clark men's rowing on lcpioneers.com live. And straight into the interview because we have to let Christian go and get ready for class here in about 5 minutes. But practice has been going on, and you've had to try to find a way to make practices work amidst the pandemic. What does the fall practice look like for the rowing team this year?
Oh yeah, this year's a little different. Normally we get out on the water pretty much every day, which is a lot of fun. But this semester, with some of the restrictions, we've just been using the rowing machines on campus. We still get to like go and see our teammates and work out together, and so yeah, it's something I look forward to every day. Just like seeing all these people I enjoy hanging out with, and it's a little bit different not being actually on the water, but I think the community is really what keeps the team together. So.
And you talked about making friends and this bond of the team. You're from
Hmm.
Kansas originally, and we do have student athletes from all over the country and all over the world. But certainly,
Hmm.
you come from the Midwest. What was it about the opportunity to come to Lewis and Clark that brought you to Portland?
Yeah, I guess growing up, my parents moved around a lot, and so we spent the most time in Kansas, but we were never anywhere for too long. and so they kind of always encouraged us to go explore new places. And so when I came out and toured here, I really enjoyed like the feel of the campus, the fact that like it feels like you're surrounded by nature, but then downtown Portland's like 5 miles away, and so I don't know, it's got a nice feel to it, and then with the classes, I wanted to attend a smaller school because I like having those connections with professors and not feeling like one of their like 200 students they have in that class.
Yeah, absolutely. And you end up choosing math and physics as your major. What was it about those two areas of study that made you declare there?
Well, I'd always kind of been heading down that route. It was just something I was better at, I guess, than like reading or like writing or political science or stuff like that. And so some people question my decision of like coming to a liberal arts college and then studying math and science, but I think there's some value in that. In that, like, if you go to a more traditional university, you kind of get like pigeonholed into just math or physics right away. Whereas I don't know, I value like having a broad base of knowledge, and I feel like that's something Lewis and Clark has given me.
Now, I mentioned you're in your junior year, and we described how classes are happening this year, but I'm curious when you look back, even from your first 2 years or anything from the fall semester, what has been a highlight for you, whether it's a professor or a class academically?
Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed a lot of the classes I've taken here. My freshman year and sophomore year, I guess, I was taking Chinese classes actually, because my plan was to study abroad in Taiwan. But I think pushing through those courses, I managed to get an A in those classes, and I think that was one of like the hardest academic experiences I've had. So like being able to squeeze that out was definitely like a highlight of my year at that point in time.
Now, long way to go, right, to graduation, but I'm curious as you move into the later stage of your first junior year semester, do you have an inkling in terms of what you want to do professionally?
A little bit. Nothing concrete yet, but I've always been interested in like computer science, and so I'm kind of looking at doing like financial modeling or analysis, kind of like merging a lot of the interests I have. So we'll see how it goes, though.
Long way, like I said, to go. One thing I do want you to do right before you take off is tell us about this advanced lab course, a chance to collaborate with another university.
Yeah, yeah. So the physics department has this great opportunity for the students. It's called Advanced Lab. It's basically small group or on your own research. And so I'm working with two other students at Lewis and Clark, and our big project for the semester, we're actually collaborating with a professor from University of Alaska up in Fairbanks on doing some climate modeling, and we have some hypotheses we're trying to prove. And so uh, uh, for the course, we just have to have like a small presentation. But the professor we're working with is hoping that we can squeeze a paper out of it.
Well, wish you the best of luck. I look at the time. I know you have to go. Christian Ermann, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on this Tuesday episode.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Uh,
So have a great day.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Christian Ermann, joining us from men's rowing. And we have tried our best to get everybody in so that we can talk to the student athletes, coaches, alumni, members from the community for at least 15 minutes. And we usually have that, from 35 after until at least 50 after. But with class schedules, sometimes that's not possible. And we've been trying to have Christian or someone from men's rowing, certainly for a couple of weeks. And we don't like to go too far without having someone from each of our 19 intercollegiate teams. So I finally looked at Christian. I was like, you know what? If you can just show up for the first 10 minutes, I would be super appreciative. And we can just kind of flip the script on a little bit of the show. And Christian was nice enough to accommodate that for us on lcpioneers.com live. So big thanks to him and big thanks to you for watching. Now, coming up this week, we do have more live shows scheduled, starting Thursday with Tim McCrory, the head coach of Lewis and Clark men's basketball. Tomorrow, we'll be doing another re-air as we have some work that we're doing. At least I'm enrolled in a specific course coming up tomorrow, and then originally was going to have a staff meeting. That since has been canceled, but we don't have a guest coming up for tomorrow. So instead, we'll have a re-air on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Tim McCrory. Noah will join us on November 13th, a member of the women's track and field program at Lewis and Clark. Now, we have continued to mention this through the course of the show. You can go to lcpioneers.com/COVID to get the latest information about updates pertaining to COVID-19, the pandemic, and Lewis and Clark athletics. We have links to the NCAA, Northwest Conference, and Lewis and Clark College, the link to their COVID-19 page. And important to continue to bring that up because, as we mentioned, it's the 10th of November. So as we have updates pertaining to anything for athletics competition, we will pass those along as we can. Right now, the Northwest Conference suspended all fall and early winter competition through at least January 1st, 2021. A couple of other things we do want to draw your attention to before we let you go is to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can do so, LC Pioneers on both. Had planned to actually try to stream today's interview on Instagram and thought we had everything ready to go, but unfortunately it did not work. So we'll try it again coming up on Thursday with Coach McCrory. And then you'll see Saturday 1 p.m. on this graphic. We actually already aired the PioStream Watchback live for cross country, but we do have an encore presentation coming up Wednesday at 7 p.m. That's Wednesday at 7 p.m. An encore presentation, a look back at the 2019 season of Lewis and Clark cross country. It was a really amazing season, and we look forward to having that encore presentation coming up. And then speaking of rowing, we had Sophia, one of the women's rowing teammates of Christian, and also Ramez from men's tennis as our recent Pioneers of the Week. You can read more about those two student athletes at lcpioneers.com. And while you're there, invite you to click on the banner right below the main placeholder on the front page. You'll see it at the bottom rotating where it says customized gear. If you click there where it says nominate for 2021, we have nominations open right now for the Lewis and Clark Athletics Hall of Fame. Nominations are due by January 15th, 2021. You can see it at the bottom there now. Be sure to go to lcpioneers.com/nominate and get your nomination in now. So until we see you again on Thursday live, but certainly for tomorrow, a re-air with Ramez Attia of men's tennis, I'm Ryan Goff. Thanks for having fun with us. Big thanks to Christian Ermann for joining us on a little bit of A, short notice, and B, a tight timeline with class at 11:40 this morning. We will see you again soon for more lcpioneers.com live, presented by PioStream, on demand, available youtube.com/lcpios. Goodbye, everybody.
My favorite spot on campus is like right outside the Dovecote, little benches, and there's flowers growing there, and you can get a little coffee at the Dovecote and sit there.
My favorite spot on campus is definitely the weight room. I get that everybody loves like the gardens or the manor house, but our facilities for athletics here are actually amazing too, and the weight room is definitely my favorite spot.
My favorite spot on campus would either be the glade outside of the athletic facilities or South Campus.
What is my favorite spot on campus? I really like the back porch of the manor house. It looks out on Mount Hood, and on a clear day, it's super beautiful just to sit around with friends.
I'm Casey Jones, and I teach a range of classes: general chemistry, organic chemistry, and also some advanced classes. And I have a research lab that currently I have 4 students working with me as part of the Rogers program. The summer experience is a way to get really deeply involved in the science that is here and be able to start to define what might be what you want to do next. So the brown bag gives our students a chance to explain their research and really show the context and the application of what they're doing to a very broad range of students and faculty.
It's interesting to be able to communicate to other scientists what your work is, and it forces you to learn how to talk about your subject so that not only experts in your field can understand it, but others can understand it as well, which I just believe is a good life skill.
To talk about your research in a way that anybody can understand it really is a valuable experience, and it's something that you don't get a lot of practice for except in these contexts. Because oftentimes you're giving a presentation to a classroom filled with people who know basically the same things that you do, but in a brown bag, you have to be able to explain and provide motivation for everything that you're working on and why it's important and why it's relevant to be studying.